We all have a wall, an invisible barrier where the pain becomes too much, the doubt becomes too loud, and the effort feels like a punishment. That is your limit. That is your breaking point. It's the moment when your mind screams, "Stop! Enough! You cannot take one more step." And in that moment, most people listen. Most people surrender. They retreat to the safety of what they've already achieved, accepting that this is as far as they were meant to go. But the truth of human potential lies just beyond that wall. Because the reality is, your breaking point is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you are on the verge of the most profound growth you will ever experience. It is the gate to your next level of strength, your next level of discipline, your next level of success. Every single person who has ever achieved something extraordinary understood this. You must push past your breaking point. This is the highest level of mental toughness, understanding that while everyone else sees that wall as a barrier to be avoided, you see it as a challenge to be embraced, because behind that barrier is where you become unstoppable. The pain you feel is not a permanent state. It is a temporary resistance. It is the old version of you fighting to keep the new version from emerging. Every time you push through that point, one more rep, one more mile, one more hour of focused work, you are not just defying the pain. You are actively building a stronger character, a fiercer resolve, and an unbreakable belief in yourself. Think about the champions. They don't win when the race is easy. They win in the final moments when everyone else is falling apart. They win because they trained their mind to see the breaking point not as a finish line, but as a warm-up. They taught their body to obey the will regardless of the discomfort. When others think they've reached their breaking point, the true champions are just getting started. This is the difference between those who quit at the first sign of struggle and those who go on to achieve greatness. One group sees the breaking point as an obstacle, while the other sees it as a stepping stone. If you have never pushed past that wall, you do not know what you are truly capable of. You are living a life defined by the limits you imagine, not the power you possess. Most people have no idea how strong they could be, how resilient, how disciplined, how talented. They measure themselves by the size of their comfort zone. They don't realize that the universe has placed limitless potential inside of them, waiting to be unleashed. And here's the most important part. You have the power to break through the barriers of your own design. You can expand your comfort zone. You can rewrite your limits. You can shatter the boundaries that you tell yourself are real. It's all in your mind. Here's the inconvenient truth about life. It doesn't care about your breaking point. Life doesn't give you trophies for coming in second or medals for almost making it. Life rewards those who refuse to accept the breaking point as a final destination. Instead, it calls for those who push through the pain and emerge stronger on the other side. You see, every great achievement, every significant victory, every milestone that you look up to was attained by someone who didn't just reach their breaking point, but went beyond it. Someone who dared to defy the limitations of flesh and the whispers of fear. They refused to let the pain define them. They used it as fuel. When faced with the choice to surrender or to persist, they chose to persist. When doubt tried to cripple them, they chose to rise above it. When exhaustion threatened to overwhelm them, they chose to push through it. They made a conscious decision to confront their breaking point, to stare it in the face and say, "No, I am not stopping. I am not giving up. I am going further." How many of us spend our days stuck in this same cycle? How many of us wake up with dreams in our hearts and then allow fear to extinguish those dreams as the day goes on? We have aspirations, goals, and desires, but when the time comes to turn those aspirations into reality, we find ourselves shrinking in the face of the challenge. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we willingly choose to live below our potential? Why do we settle for mediocrity when we know we're capable of greatness? Because we fear the pain of pushing past our breaking point. We fear the discomfort of confronting our limitations. We fear the possibility that we might not come out on the other side as winners. But here's the liberating truth. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be flawless. You don't have to be invincible. All you have to be is willing to try. All you have to be is brave enough to face the discomfort and committed enough to push through it. In the tapestry of your life, every thread of struggle, every strand of pain, every moment of self-doubt is there for a purpose. It's there to make the victory sweeter, the achievements more meaningful, and the triumphs more glorious. It's in the crucible of these challenges that your true character is forged. When you push past your breaking point, you learn the most important lesson of all, that you are not limited by anything except the walls you build in your own mind. You discover a strength within yourself that you never knew existed. You find a resilience that becomes your shield and a determination that becomes your sword. Every time you face your breaking point and choose to push through, you rewrite a new chapter in your story, a chapter that speaks of courage, tenacity, and an unyielding spirit. Remember, the breaking point is not the end of your journey. It's often just the beginning of a greater adventure, an adventure that leads to the uncharted territories of your potential. You may not know what lies beyond that wall, but here's what you can be sure of. If you stay where you are, if you refuse to venture any further, you will never know what you could have achieved. You will always wonder about the strength you never tested, the skills you never developed, and the dreams you never pursued. So what will it be? Will you continue to play it safe within the confines of your comfort zone, or will you dare to step into the unknown? Will you embrace the discomfort and push past your breaking point? Let me ask you this. What do you really want from life? Do you want to settle for the ordinary, or do you want to aim for the extraordinary? Because here's the harsh truth. If you want the extraordinary, you must be willing to do what others are not willing to do. You must be willing to face the pain, to endure the struggle, and to emerge victorious on the other side. You have a choice to make, a choice between the familiar safety of where you are and the uncertain allure of what lies ahead. Choose wisely, my friend, because your decision today will shape your destiny tomorrow. If you choose to remain where you are, you will continue to exist, but you will never truly live. You will carry the weight of your potential like a burden, knowing that you've fallen short of what you could have been. However, if you choose to push past your breaking point, if you choose to venture into the unknown, you will discover a strength that resides within you, a strength that will carry you through the toughest of times. You will find a resilience that will become your armor, and a focus that will become your weapon. When you face your breaking point and decide to press on, you open yourself up to a world of infinite possibilities. You become the architect of your own destiny, the sculptor of your own future. You get to write your own story, and that story can be filled with adventure, triumph, and glory. I urge you, my friend, to choose wisely. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let doubt cripple you, and don't let mediocrity define you. Push past your breaking point and embrace the discomfort. That is where the magic happens. That is where you become who you are meant to be. Remember, the world is full of challenges, and there will be moments when you feel like giving up. There will be times when the pain seems unbearable and the struggle feels pointless. But I want you to remember the feeling of being at your breaking point, because that feeling is not your limit. It's just the beginning of your greatness. Go forth, my friend, and conquer. Embrace the pain, endure the struggle, and emerge victorious. The world is waiting for you to claim what is rightfully yours. Are you ready to answer the call?